Moving to a new city alone. Real English for real life. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Real English for Real Life, the channel where you learn real, practical English through true stories, real situations, and everyday life. If you're an English learner who's tired of boring textbooks and unnatural phrases, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Hi, my name is Sophia. I've always been a planner. During college, I had color-coded schedules, to-do lists on my phone, and sticky notes all over my desk. My goal was clear: start a career in communications and become financially independent. When I got the job offer from a marketing firm in Chicago, it felt like my big break. The company was known for its creative campaigns and inclusive culture. It was an entry-level role, but it was exactly what I had hoped for, so I accepted the offer immediately. My first real challenge came before I even arrived in the city: finding an apartment. I had never lived alone before. After days of searching rental websites, I finally chose a small studio in a busy neighborhood. The rent was steep, but I told myself it would be worth it for the location and city vibe. When I moved in with just 3 suitcases and 2 shipped boxes, the place felt shockingly small and strangely quiet. The white walls seemed to echo. Even though I could hear street sounds through the window, I had never felt so alone. That first night, I cried. My first week at work was overwhelming. The office had no cubicles, just long desks. Everyone typed quickly, spoke in industry jargon, and stayed busy. Though my team was kind, they didn't really have time to chat. I missed the familiarity of college, my friends, my favorite cafes, even my favorite quiet places. On my third day, I got lost on the subway and ended up on the opposite side of the city. It was raining, I didn't have an umbrella, and my shoes were soaked by the time I made it home. That night, I ordered a warm bowl of ramen from a nearby restaurant. It was delicious and comforting. That small moment helped more than I expected. To feel less out of control, I built a new routine. Every morning, I walked to the same corner cafe, ordered a vanilla oat milk latte, and sat by the window. I journaled for 10 minutes about little things I noticed: kids dancing in puddles, people walking dogs, strangers sharing smiles. I called these entries letters to myself. Writing helped me stay grounded. I also joined a local spin class twice a week. The instructor, Tasha, was full of energy and blasted Beyoncé through the speakers. I was far from athletic, but sweating through those sessions gave me a sense of strength I hadn't felt in weeks. I met my first friend in the city at a bookstore. We both reached for the same memoir, and she smiled and said, "This one's amazing." Her name was Kira, and she had moved to Chicago the year before. Kira introduced me to her small friend group. They invited me to brunches, game nights, and even a bad movie night where we laughed at ridiculous 90s films. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I belonged. I also began volunteering at a local animal shelter. That's where I met Max, scruffy terrier mix who was nervous around people. I saw so much of myself in him. Over time, Max warmed up to me. He would wait by the door when he heard my voice. I couldn't adopt him. My lease didn't allow pets, but I started calling him my weekend roommate. At work, I volunteered to help with a nonprofit campaign on mental health. No one else wanted the project, but I felt drawn to it. I worked hard gathering stories, designing content, and writing with heart. When the campaign launched, the feedback was incredible. My manager called me in, and I feared I had done something wrong. Instead, he told me, "You've got a voice. We want you to lead the next pitch. I was stunned and proud. As months passed, the city became less scary. I still had rough days. Days I missed my mom, or when trains were late, or when I felt invisible. But I had built tools for resilience: journaling, exercise, connection, purpose. I even started a blog, Letters from the Inside Lane, where I shared photos, reflections, and thoughts on navigating young adulthood. People started reading it. One person messaged me, "Thanks for reminding me that it's okay to feel lost and still move forward." I cried when I read that in the best way. A year after my move, I flew home to visit my family. My parents welcomed me with warm hugs and my favorite stew. While we sat around the table, my younger brother asked, "So do you like it there now?" I paused for a second. "I do," I said. "It's not always easy, but I've changed. I've learned how to rely on myself, and I like who I'm becoming." My parents smiled, and I knew they were proud. My journey wasn't perfect, but it was mine. I didn't just get through the year. I grew through it. The city didn't get smaller. I just grew big enough to fit in it. Now, let's take a moment to go over some of the vocabulary you might have been curious about while listening. Inclusive. Welcoming and respecting all people, regardless of differences. The company was known for its creative campaigns and inclusive culture. Stay grounded. Stay emotionally calm and steady. Writing helped me stay grounded. Overwhelming. Too much to handle emotionally or mentally? My first week at work was overwhelming. Jargon. Special words used by a specific group, often hard for outsiders to understand. Everyone typed quickly, spoke in industry jargon, and stayed busy. Warm up. To gradually become more energetic, friendly, or interested. Over time, Max warmed up to me. Stunned. Very surprised, temporarily unable to move or think. He told me, "You've got a voice. We want you to lead the next pitch." I was stunned and proud. Resilience. The ability to move through and grow from difficult times. But I had built tools for resilience: journaling, exercise, connection, purpose.